So anything that is vexing us outside, it has an inner solution. Hi, my name's Kevin. I'm a transformation guide and quantum consciousness coach. I help demystify the mystical, make the spiritual practical, and break down the barriers to personal enlightenment. Today we're going to look at the difference between subconscious transformation and therapy. In the show Suits, one of the characters, Lewis, is going to a therapist talking about a relationship issue. And I'm just going to differentiate where I'm seeing things that I would do in a guided transformation session versus what therapists do in a more conscious mind talk session.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I acted irrationally, but please, Tara, if you could just give me another chance. I promise you that I will never let you down again.
You know you can't say that, Lewis.
Wait, I'm sorry, what this is my role play. I could say whatever the hell I want.
In this scenario, the therapist is absolutely right. It's really challenging to speak in absolutes because nothing is black and white. Nothing is always yes, always no. The one difference that I would say is it doesn't seem like the character Lewis is grounded, centered, or balanced going into this session because he had that reaction. And when we're in a reactive place, we're literally not in our right mind. We're in a dominant hemisphere. The corpus callosum, which connects the prefrontal cortex hemispheres, drains, and we're in a fight, flight, freeze, fawn response. So anytime we're in communication in a stress response, we're not going to have the best outcome because it's not even us speaking. It's the totality of all of the trauma we've experienced, all of our life history, filtered through the subconscious, whose only goal is to keep us safe. The challenge is it all ends up keeping us stuck often as well. Our subconscious would prefer familiar chaos to unfamiliar safety. And that's so true in almost all situations. So good redirection by the therapist here. The only thing I would make sure is that the client is grounded, balanced, and centered before we get into any work so we can actually transform things subconsciously instead of having it locked down under a stress response.
And we've talked about you making bold proclamations about your own behavior.
What does that have to do with this?
You just promised to never let Tara down again. That is unrealistic. What happens when you inevitably break that promise?
I'll apologize. I promise I'll never do it again.
And
Okay. So I love the writing because they're illustrating what is so common with so many of us. It's the looping patterns in life that keep us stuck, keep us from experiencing the fulfillment, the abundant relationships that we really want to experience. So that was great writing there.
you don't see a problem with that pattern.
What I see, Dr. Lipschitz, is we're 46 minutes into this session, and I haven't gotten closure yet.
Lewis, we spent 7 years on the fact that your mother made you wear Esther's hand-me-ups. You're not getting closure in 50 minutes.
Well, then what the hell am I?
Okay, so a couple of things here. First, 46 minutes into a subconscious transformation session, while it might not be complete closure, we are 100% releasing stress around the situation, releasing and transforming any emotions that have become trapped within the system because of the situation, and potentially even repatterning or reprogramming a belief at the subconscious level that's running counter to what we actually want to experience. And the beauty part with the approaches we take with subconscious transformation is that everything is client-led. The client system is informing us of the best belief for the client based on what our focus is, what area of life to look at in order to release stress around a previous situation that's being reflected in this current one. And then looking at any emotions that we can release and transform from the subconscious. They can be stuck, they can be trapped within the fascia, literally at the cellular level, because of current or past experiences. So 46 minutes into a transformation session, we're hitting all of those notes and we're moving the chains forward. We're making progress all the time. Spending 7 years on being traumatized from wearing your younger sister's hand-me-ups, that's a long time. That's a long time to spend focusing on an embarrassing situation, to be sure. But we would be able to transform the stress and the trauma and the shame or whatever else he's carrying with him around that experience in 1 to 2 sessions. So we're able to move more efficiently through a lot of really deep-rooted stuff because we're not dealing with the symptoms. We're not dealing with the conscious mind. We're getting underneath it all and going to the root where everything is stored. And that gives us a more expansive playbook to work with, and we're able to intervene in ways that just aren't available with conscious talk conversations. So now we're jumping back into another session, and this is later in that same episode.
Why are you, Lewis?
Want to know how I'm doing? I'll tell you how I'm doing. I tried focusing on my professional life instead of my personal one. It's been a goddamn disaster.
Okay. Body language, tone, everything is screaming stress response. So again, I would be guiding this client through a series of whole brain exercises, some holotropic breathing and grounding practices to make sure that the entire system, the entire mind-body system is balanced, non-reactive, and in stasis so that we can actually get underneath the reactivity, underneath that limbic state, and get to the truth of what's actually going on.
I take it thoughts of Tara have been getting in the way of work.
What? No, I'm over her. She's yesterday's news.
Your words make me think otherwise.
Well, how about you listen to these words? Harvey's making his friend name partner. He's accused me of being jealous, and I don't know what to do.
Are you jealous?
Of course I'm goddamn jealous.
Okay. So coveting, jealousy, comparison, judgment, they are all expressions of imbalance. If we are not secure and confident in ourselves, if we aren't at a place of being able to fill up our own cup on the inside, we're going to constantly be looking for things to fill it up outside of us. And that can include stature, that can include titles, that can include salary, that can include finances. Anything outside of us that we are perceiving as the thing that's going to make us feel better, it's a false flag. The only thing that can make us feel better is to transform the conditions on the inside so that we then start experiencing and seeing a reflection of our inner state in our outer world. This entire thing of life, this entire thing of being human is an inside-out job. So the more that we are getting grounded, centered, balanced, the more that we're clearing out the junk in the subconscious trunk, releasing the stressors and traumas from the past, the less reactive we're going to be to our current situation, no matter what it is. And that's what's going to give us the grace and mental space to be able to navigate life with greater ease, less reactivity, and less drama-rama. Not nearly as fun for a TV show, but guaranteed 100% more fun as we live it in real life.
Louis, it's natural for you to feel that way. You've worked hard to get where you are, and a new person threatens your position in the firm.
Yeah, all feelings are valid, all emotions are valid. We're done suppressing, we're done pushing down, we're done ignoring, and they're also a signpost. So if we spend too much time wallowing in jealousy, that's going to create a green-eyed monster. So it's okay to feel the things. And I always say, then how much time do you want to spend there? How much time do we want to spend in anger, in jealousy, in comparison? All these things just undermine our foundation and just start tearing things down.
That's not it. The one silver lining of Jessica leaving was that I thought that Harvey would finally turn to me, not only as his partner, but as his friend. That's not happening now because I'm being replaced.
And you're scared of losing your friend.
What do I do?
I can't tell you that, Louis. But I can tell you, it was your behavior that drove Tara away. And if you keep letting your emotions dictate your behavior, you won't need to worry about being replaced. You'll drive Harvey away, all by yourself.
Yeah, that's 100%. As a guide, I would never tell someone what to do. I would guide them to their own answers because every single one of us has all the answers already on the inside. Especially, again, he is still in this stress response. So it's so hard to get some clear sky thinking. I'll link to a video up here about the importance of finding a whole brain state in life, which is what we're talking about. When we disrupt a stress response, we come back to a whole brain state, more balanced, more peaceful, more present, and we're not as reactive or attached to things going on outside of ourselves for anything we feel or we need on the inside, for our safety, for our security, for our happiness, for our peace, for our joy. And he's also 100% correct in that it's always us. It's never anybody else. Anytime we see something in someone else that just drives us crazy, we're actually looking in a mirror. We think we're looking through the windows of the eyes, but we're actually seeing what we're experiencing internally reflected to us in another. So anything that is vexing us outside, it has an inner solution so that we release the attachment to those things outside of us so we can have a little bit better time in life, in the moment. Because after all, this moment is all that really exists. Even though our subconscious is going to try and get us to be everywhere but the moment. So this is the opportunity that we've got to shift our relationship with the subconscious mind-body, make intervention at that subconscious level, which really allows us to streamline our own healing, coming back to our wholeness that's always been there on the inside, and unpacking a lot of the programs and conditioning of life, the faulty thoughts about ourselves, the detrimental beliefs about ourselves or others that we can let go of, we can transform, we can release, so we can come back to that isness of who we are, that peacefully present, more enlightened state of natural being that's available to every one of us. I'm happy to compare and contrast subconscious transformation and therapy. I think both are very helpful. Both are impactful. I was in talk therapy when I was 11. So if you're at all interested, reach out. Happy to share more information about subconscious transformation. And let me know if you want to see more transformation guides react to therapy and movies. All right. Hope this helped. Have a beautiful day.